time he was in California. Back in New York, he had a baby.
Yeah.
He had a fiance.
Yeah.
And man, that's like and then oh my gosh, let's not talk about right before that show how he got that show. Who was he on the show with?
Brigitte.
With Brigitte. Oh my goodness! Come on, really? And so I said, yo, man, I said he took Coon to the next level with that. But this is what made it even worse with that was on that show with them two Cooning. He brought her on stage with Public Enemy, and I said no.
And the crazy thing about it is, you know, Chuck D, you know, Chuck D, that's his people. You know, he's part of Public. But even Chuck D was kind of like, I don't really know. You know, when they would ask him, you know, what do you think about Flavor doing all these different
Where's SW1? Why didn't they throw her off stage, man? They should have kindly, politely escorted her off stage.
Politely. This is Public Enemy. You got to fight the power that be.
But you gotta know. But for real, like, if you think about it, like, to me, that was like the start of the new age Cooning. Because after that, it just went downhill. Went Basketball Wives, Love and Hip Hop. I mean, now granted, they had Basketball Wives and Real Housewives of Orange County and all that kind of stuff.
This is a crazy thing. Basketball Wives. How many of them are actually married?
That should be basketball ex-girlfriends and basketball jump-offs. Because that's all they was.
That's all they are.
The only one that was technically married, Tammy was married to Kenny Anderson. Shawnee was married to Shaq.
That was it.
Keyword was.
Right. And then the one was married to Eric Williams, the one chick. But what's that, 3?
Out of the
hundreds of Instagram thoughts and whatever else you want to call them, but yeah, like, but you had that, you had Flavor of Love, that was what, VH1. Then you got the Love and Hip Hops. Them was on what, VH1 or BET or whatever. Like, it's all trash. But it's like y'all doing all that to get the bag as opposed to just doing what you're talented at and do it that way. Now, mind you, on the flip side, in their defense, the Kardashians ain't talented
whatsoever.
They white coons.
Yeah.
Think about it, right?
Yeah.
They cool. They
wackoons.
Right. But I'm just saying, they're doing the same thing, but people glorify it.
And it's really crazy when you think about it in the aspect of when Lamar Odom was dealing with his whole thing, and he might have died. You know, he was in a very bad state. And so then Chloe, she was around with all these other different guys, and then somebody must have told her, yo, we'll get our ratings boost if you go back and you be this dotting wife who's next to him by his sick bed and all this stuff. While she messing with other dudes and bringing the camera up into the hospital with this guy. Like,
it's all about the ratings. It's all about the check.
It's basically Teddy B has made a very good point. They have decided that they'll basically just sell their privacy to be a star. You know, like most stars, they have acting ability and they lose their privacy because of their stardom. Mm-hmm. These people are like, I don't have any ability. You know, I've seen Kim Kardashian come in movies. She can't act. We know it. It's kind of made fun of in certain aspects. But she basically was like, she was basically like, yo, I will sell basically me, everything about me to try to make this money. So I'll give her credit. She knew how to bank off of it. She's continued, but you can see it every single time when nobody's saying anything about them, something happens. So nobody was saying anything about Kim Kardashian. They got robbed in Paris.
So does Cooning does Cooning have any level of integrity whatsoever? No,
because I mean, at the end of the day, they're all just kind of, I guess, secure some type of bag, right? They're trying to get the money. But at the end of the day, it's the big corporations that are the puppet masters.
I don't know. Sometimes I don't even know if they're trying to get money. I think they just want some level of attention. Like, look at me. Look at me.
Look at it like this. They want to be viral, right?
Yeah.
Viral ain't nothing but a virus. That's all it is. You're spreading the virus, right?
Yeah.
Because think about the messages and stuff that you're putting out there, right? It's like spreading a bad virus. Like all these, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to be a thought, and being an Instagram so-called model that's not a profession. You can't get paid off of that. Oh, well, I can get paid off of my phone. You can do a lot of stuff and get paid off your phone, but why is it that you want to aspire to be? Yeah. Why don't we want to be anymore, right? Like you said, the cooning is killing the culture, because now, back in the day when, you know, granted, Cosby in trouble now, but how many young boys was like, man, I want to be a doctor because of Cliff Huxtable, right? I want to be a lawyer, you know, for women as far as because of Claire Huxtable.
Yeah.
Like,
I want to go to fake college now, like The Hillman kids.
Right, I want to go to Hillman and go to a black college, even though them weren't real, but that was the image you had. You wanted to be something more, right? You wanted to be on a level playing ground. Now, you just want to get in the door or just be there and say that you were there. For how long, though? Like, it's not sustainable at all.
I mean, it's gotten to the point, as you said, with it being viral, it's gotten to the point where it's really bad. Like, I don't know if you remember a couple years back, they had people recording, running up on sucker punching people.
Yeah.
Right.
These black kids out here sucker punching people and recording this stuff.
Straight cool
old people.
Straight cool move.
Because they already say black males are beasts. They're animals. Black people in general are animals.
And they just played into
and you just played right into the stereotype of punching unsuspecting victims. I saw one where the guy, he didn't even, like, he was able to dodge at the last second, and then several guys came in and kind of jumped him just because he was able to evade the sucker punch. And I'm like, like, they said that the kids said they were bored. You were bored, so you record yourself doing a crime.
Crazy, man.
Yeah, because you're bored because they're glorifying the wrong things.
Yeah.
Right? Think about whenever somebody actually speaks out on this, it never goes viral. Or if it does, it bubbles real slow, right?
Right.
David Banner. You hear about him if you're looking for David Banner.
Right.
But it ain't publicized like everything else.
See, man, this is the thing, man. Some people don't think that. And I remember let me say this. When I was a kid, my dad gave me the game at like 6 years old. He said, right here, look, the blood you see in the movies ain't real. When you see people get hit, killed, whatever, that stuff is not real. It's all movie. It's all fake. It's all makeup. It's all. So I'm like, all right. So I understood that as a child. So I never took that to heart. But I noticed when I became a teenager, man, I seen a lot of kids watching Menace to Society. Then all of a sudden they walk around trying to be old dog. Or they watching Juice and now everybody want to be Bishop.
They want to be Bishop, yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they watching Above the Rim and now they all want to get out on the basketball hoop and try to be like Dwayne Martin, but they couldn't. They had
try to be Birdie with the.
So all these images actually, especially on young impressionable people, kids, they take that in, they suck it up because they're trying to find their way. So. A lot of these people who are putting these images out now, and they are coons, or they're acting in a coon-like manner, they're just setting the next generation up for, as I see, is for failure, man. And you don't have a lot of strong images out there, man. I think that's what this coon thing is about, man. We don't have no strong, powerful images of people who are actually with integrity and stuff.
That's
because people don't want to buy that.
I think it somewhat to that point, they try to emasculate black men, though.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it. Martin was in a dress. Tyler Perry's in a dress. Eddie Murphy's in a dress. Right? But then you see Dustin Hoffman in a dress and Tootsie, and it's all. That's okay. You know.
Cool.
But when they do it to us, it's because they laughing. They trying to beat the meaning.
This is Doubtfire with Robin Williams.
Right.
But that's an old comedy gag, so that's kind of. I mean, it's been around.
Flint Wilson.
Yeah, that's been around.
But think about it. They was doing it back then to us too.
Yeah.
I mean, before we could even get started.
Didn't Dave Chappelle say something about
that he refused to be put in a dress?
Right.
Now, speaking of Chappelle, right? He didn't want to be Cooning anymore.
Right.
So he didn't take the bag. He disappeared for how long? He came back and now they on him like, dang, we'll throw you however much you were supposed to get twice.
Right.
Just because we want you back that bad because he decided I don't want to downgrade my people anymore.
Did you see clips from the third season that they kind of?
Yeah, I know. I got the third season.
That, yeah.
I got the first, second.
There was that one skit in there where he was playing like some coon, like a coonish type character. He had like the little stripes shirt on and stuff. It was like they were playing all that Dixie music and stuff in that skit. It was funny, but that was the skit they said that he felt some kind of way about. He didn't want to put out.
I'm surprised he didn't feel weird even on the third season where it was like the Munsters.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah.
And it was him, it was Charlie Murphy, Darnell Rawlings, but they were all different monsters, but they felt like they were getting played because they were monsters.
Right.
On the flip side, they were trying to say, because we're black, this is how they're treating us, right? But you got to slide it in there, try to make it funny so you can make the powers that be some money and get them some ratings. Right. Like a lot of people, I think if you can honestly hear what they say behind closed doors when the camera and the mics are off, that's the real person you won't get.
Right.
They're not going to tell you that because You're going to mess up, how does Joe Budden say? You're going to mess up my political connects. Right? You're going to mess up the bag, what they say, secure the bag first.
Right. Now we're in the age of social media. Everybody's putting things out there, whatever it is they want to represent themselves.
Yeah. Right.
Do we want people to keep it real, or do we just want to be entertained by them? Do we want people to coon? Because a lot of us have enjoyed cooning over the years. Do we want them to keep it 100?
I mean,
or do we want to keep
Is it because we've become accustomed to cooning, though? So it's a part of everyday life, so sometimes you don't even see it as
what's really interesting, you say that, is you could put it on the flip side. What was the white girl to say, "Catch me outside, how about that?
Yeah.
How about that?" You know, people were like, "Oh, she misappropriated black folks. She trying to act like she's
misappropriating poor,
right?
Disenfranchised."
Yeah, because poor don't necessarily have a color. Poor ain't just black anymore.
No,
but the way that it's always viewed, there's
if poor is black, right?
Or urban, if I can say urban.
Urban.
I mean,
urban is 5 letters, just like black.
And she got all types of opportunities off of that.
But yeah,
that's crazy.
I think they brought her back on the show and all that stuff. And then a recent time she was talking to the wrong girl, got yanked out the car. How about that? But only thing I'm saying in this situation is, a lot of black folks were angered by her, how she was representing herself and stuff. And they're like, she trying to act like this, that, and other. And I'm like, well, let her act like that. I'm like, yeah, she was kind of talking like what you would perceive black is, but is that what we are? Was she basically
let MTV, VH1, and BET tell it that's exactly what we are.
Basically, from what you see all the time.
You know what I'm saying? Everything is, think about it. The way they doing it now, it's not even what you say. It's how they make you appear to everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Joggers, right? These rompers, right?
Yeah.
Y'all seen these little two-piece fishnet outfits they got now?
Right.
Now, mind you, over in Europe, that was normal. Back in the day, we see somebody in that. What's the first thing we're going to say? And I'm going to just keep it real. Man, he look gay, right?
Oh, if
you see the dude wearing that, right?
Yeah.
But think about what the rappers got on now. Everything they wearing looks a little more feminine the years and years go by, right?
Yeah.
First you started with them sagging their pants, which that's a jail thing. If you sagging your pants, you trying to show that you trying to give up some booty.
Yeah.
But on the outside, that ain't what it is. It's just a fashion. It's just a trend. Then they put you in these tight sweatpants with all the women love it. But think about it. Your pants is tighter than your woman's that you hanging with.
But
right?
This what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this when we talk. We're getting into hip hop culture now. The guys who are out now, as far as artists, a lot of them, if you look at them, they're all shaping themselves after Lil Wayne. Like literally, I didn't realize this until like last week. I was like, Lil Wayne actually really did change rap music. Like, and people, and he at one point he was calling himself the greatest alive, the greatest rapper. I was like, he might be the greatest rapper alive for this generation because they have all adopted his hair, his skinny pants he was wearing, the whole mumbling all over the record.
It sound like Taz.
I mean, he at least was coherent enough in the beginning and had bars to a certain degree. Before the lean, but then they adopted the post lean Lil Wayne, and it's like, no, this dude actually had some level of skills, but then he decided to go a coonish route.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like that before. He was never like how he was before.
But this was so crazy about them dudes, though. They cooning and don't even know it.
They don't even know it. They drunk the coon juice and they know it.
And don't even know it. That's when you know they got you. When you doing it and don't even know that you doing it, it's just a part of your day-to-day life. Right? You just sitting there doing it and ain't even thinking about it. It's just happening.
It made me think about when Little Yachty, that's what some kids
Little Yachty, yeah.
Little Yachty said he was on stage, he's doing a show. He had no energy. You could see it. And so he said, to the crowd, yo, you guys need to give me a little bit more energy. And the guy was like, you the one that ain't got no energy. Now, basically, what are you going to do? That was the nigga moment, basically.
Okay.
Like Huey Freeman back in the day. So basically, there's a couple things you could do. You could either go to your next song with more energy.
Right.
Or you could then step off the stage and say, I'm not going to deal with this anymore. The crowd is whack. No. Or you could go with the third option, which is basically start talking trash to the dude in the crowd. So what do you think he ended up choosing to do?
He talked trash.
He started talking trash because it was his show. And they're throwing water at the guy and stuff like that. And I'm like, so what did you just show? Like, it seems to me that, like you guys have said, that a lot of these guys are cooning and they don't even know it.
They just want to get paid, man. They don't even care what they rap about or say. Like, they don't care. And they know young people. They know young people are listening. They're like, I just want to be who I am. And I get that. When you're a teenager, you're young, you know that. But then you start having kids, and some of these dudes already have kids.
Yeah.
There's a perspective that needs to change, man. But, again, somebody else did this and thought it was okay to be this way. And so then they were impressed, i.e. Lil Wayne, who he didn't realize how much power he had as an artist and influence, that now all these dudes are following suit, man. And now you have them, they be mumbling and be saying the most heinous stuff on a song. I mean, Young Thug's talking about shooting a reverend on a song. You know what I mean? And, you know, it's crazy. So I mean, where does the cooning end? Where does it begin? I don't know, man, but we got to bring these dudes to the altar, man. We got to bring somebody to the altar.
I think it's just more or less we gotta get back to having, like, legitimate role models, though.
Yeah.
Like, when your ball players and your musical artists are your role models, that's cool, but what happened to the good, strong black actors? Like, back in the day, people looked up to Sidney Poitier. Now, granted, mess with a white woman, but aside from that, I mean, right. But I'm just saying, you know, some people, they super black to the point where it's like, if your woman is black, if your kids is half black, we don't fool with you. We want you to be super all natural black, right? But that's not the reality of the situation of the world. But people that you actually could look up to, right, to make a change. Think about when Barack Obama got elected. Cats for a little while pulled up their pants, cut their hair, was going to the barbershop, put on a button up, maybe even learn how to tie a tie. They changed up for a minute, right? For a minute. And then all of a sudden it was like, you know what?
Maybe that.
This ain't going to give me the bag, so let me go a different route, right?
They weren't getting the bag during this.
Right. The money wasn't easy enough to get. So they making it so easy for them to get it. It's like
they didn't get nothing out of it. He ain't do nothing for him.
So the root of this though then comes down to money though. Is that what you're saying?
I think the money is a lot of it, man.
So you think people coon
to get paid? Yes, in their eyes of what is paid. Because at the end of the day, nobody black is cutting these checks. They're not. They're not. It's an old rich white guy cutting these little checks. Here's a penny off my plate. There you go. But to us, it's millions of dollars. We good. We set for life. Now, coming where we come from to that, it's like being a billionaire. Yeah. But in their eyes, they're still like, yeah, okay, here, take this crumb off the master's plate and keep it moving.
Well, then, I guess to play devil's advocate in a certain aspect, is it, with all of these different artists and athletes, as you have mentioned, do they have to be a role model? I mean, do they have to do that? If they don't want to do it, is that something you
No, but he was just asking me, he was asking the question, what would stop the cooning?
Yeah, where does it end? Where does it begin? And as you said, we need people who are actually going to stand up and be respected role models, or at least have a level of integrity. You don't get that. You don't get that today, man.
So what happened to Bill Cosby?
Well, Bill Cosby, I mean, he's
ain't nobody perfect.
I'm not even gonna talk about Bill Cosby. You know why? You know why I ain't gonna talk about Bill Cosby? You know why I ain't gonna talk about him? Because he was never found guilty according to our laws. He was never found guilty in a court of law of anything. So
that's true. I mean, he in court right now. So I mean, we'll see how that plays out. But
no, but I only asked in that aspect because, you know, Bill Cosby for a while, he was the one that was like really on the young men, you know, about the different things, and he had a point. But black folks were like, we had enough of this.
Yeah. Do you feel like, okay, let me ask y'all this question.
And some people felt he was a coon.
That's what I was saying. Did you ever feel like Cosby was a coon?
I didn't. I think he was out like an old man.
Black Dynamite tried to flip it on that brother something serious. I was like, man, I never even looked at it in that aspect. Because
what did they say?
Well, basically, if you think about what Eddie Murphy had said about when Bill Cosby called him, and then Eddie Murphy talked to Richard Pryor, and Richard Pryor was basically like, yo, that dude's not writing your checks, so, you know.
Right.
So, they basically made it like Cosby, because his act was so clean and he was talking all that stuff that he was basically controlled by white people and was trying to, you know, like twist people and turn more people to coons and all this different stuff in an aspect, you know. And I'm kind of like, I was like, that's kind of messed up, that's just funny. Because Richard Pryor was doing clean comedy for a little bit.
Oh no, he had some coonish moments. You watched The Toy?
Oh man,
The Toy.
Oh man,
I watched that recently. I was like, man, there's a lot of lessons to learn in that, man. But that was the ultimate coon. Because you see how the movie ends. The movie ends. The guy, the father was in the movie. The father, rich father, was a white supremacist. Yeah, he was a white supremacist.
Yeah.
Right. At the end, he ends up with his son, and he basically told his son, like, you know, when you're rich, you're supposed to live like this. You know, the son just couldn't see because, of course, Richard Pryor showed him that, you know, you should be a normal person. You should have a level.
As the man is dead.
Right.
The man.
So what did they give? He ended up helping him get a new newspaper job at the end.
Yeah.
You know, a white supremacist still gave a job at the end, and he was appreciative of that.
A crumb off the plate.
I'm like, really?
But how did
after he exposed them, he still took the job.
That's as realistic as it gets. That's realism.
But the fact that they're cutting the checks, you know, once they get so far, they gotta knock you back down to reality. Or as Paul Mooney say, he had his nigga wake up call, right? So think about Cosby when he tried to buy NBC.
They were like, nah.
Hold on, how I said? Wake up, nigga. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just saying, like, but it's real though. Like, as much as we laughing about it, it's the truth. Because think about any black person, once they get so high, if they decide to veer left off of what the puppet master tells them to do, all of a sudden, they start tumbling back down the hill.
Now, so this is the funny thing. I'm going to take it to this so I can set Rahil on his path, because I know he's ready for this one. I've heard so many different people, when they compare LeBron and Michael Jordan, and a lot of people be trying to call Michael Jordan a coon nowadays. And I'm like, yeah, Michael Jordan has done a lot of different things that are questionable. Privatized prisons and stuff, you know, his money in that, yeah. Not allowing a chameleonaire to take a picture with him. I don't take pictures with niggas. You know, and the list goes on. But this is the interesting thing about it. A lot of people are like, LeBron's different. How? Doesn't Nike own him also?
But listen, no, LeBron's different.
Keyword own.
No, LeBron's different because he went back to Akron. He got his own foundation where he gives back to the kids, schools. He's donated, you know, when he did the decision, he just donated that money from that whole decision thing, him going to Miami, that whole show, and all the sponsors who paid into that to the boys club, Boys and Girls Club. He speaks up for injustices when things happen. He says, you know, racism is bad. It's not, you know. Yeah. So yeah, you know, Michael Jordan has never spoken out because Michael Jordan understood, like, I'm an athlete. that's not my lane, and I'm gonna stay out of that lane, you know. Yeah. But LeBron, he speaks out about these things. So that's what makes him different, right?
So what's wearing a shirt that says Black Lives Matter mean anything? If you would have really wanted to make some difference in the NBA, like all these different dudes were saying when they were talking about Sterling, because he said what Sterling said had nothing to do with he shouldn't be.
Yeah, he's not going to be in our league. He's not going to
be in our league.
Right.
You know what they should have done? That was playoff time, wasn't it? Was that during the playoffs?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just take the game off? Oh, they didn't want to mess with that bag.
No. Or why didn't all the NBA players who disagreed, why didn't they all boycott?
Yeah, they could have all boycotted and not played.
Because they got bills to pay and they not writing their own checks. They got to take them crumbs off the map.
Now, that's an interesting thing. Who just created their own 3-on-3 league?
Ice Cube.
Ice Cube. But they're trying to scoff at it. They're laughing at it. Who wants to see these old dudes play against each other?
Iverson's still playing it.
He's playing it.
But no, I'm just saying. You got different people saying it. Because those are the same people that are wearing LeBrons.
Think about it like this. Anytime they try to collectively come together, black men, women, in general, whenever they try to come together and do something, they always try to find a way to get in there and break it up.
And who's the detractors? Let's break it down like this. You got Walmart, you got Kroger's, you got all sorts of different stores, right? Mm-hmm. black man decides he wants to put together a grocery store in a black neighborhood.
A mom and pop store, and it costs 20 cents more than what you pay at Walmart. I ain't going there because he charged too much money.
He charged too much for this meat.
That's because
he charged too much for this.
Let's just break it all the way down. That's because the manufacturer that he's going through is not giving him that same percentage of a cut.
Well, plus he's not a part of the chain. He's not a part of the chain.
So he got to buy it wholesale.
Because one of those different areas, you know, you might have the two other areas that are bustling that can help keep that one area that's not selling as well, you know, up and running. Because it's a chain. It's all over the place. Right. But in that one store, you're going to have to charge more for it to grow. Mm-hmm. Right. But people are not, and that is the same type of mentality that we have to deal with all the time. Right. Talking about with people cooning and stuff, it's always somebody else trying to detract from something that somebody else is doing. LeVar Ball, he's trying to do big baller, right? He's trying to be a big baller.
And he's doing something for his family.
He's trying to have his own shoes.
And he's protecting his sons.
And I know we clowned the shoes. I called them Toby's, right? I know we clowned them, but I was only clowning because of the price tag. And then somebody had said something I was listening to, and they said, you know, well, who said that this was for the kids? Who said that the shoes were made for the kids? And I said, I didn't really think about it that way. You just set it up as a shoe. If you can afford it, buy it. If you can't, go buy the Jordans that you're going to rock.
But he had to do that because he had to compete with the Nikes, and he had
of course.
You have to compete, and then the price is going to go down.
The price will go down as long as...
coming out into the market, you just can't come out there like, I'm going to sell my shoe for $100 because it's 50 million Nikes for $100, and your shoe's going to get lost in the shuffle, so...
You know, Stephon Marbury, you know, people have clowned his different shoes, and I'm like, he's trying to do something that have affordable shoes for kids, and everybody's clowning, right? Right. Because everybody's been brainwashed that you have to be Nike, Adidas, Reebok. Right. You know. But,
so, I mean, all that goes back to kind of what Trey, good Lord, Teddy B. What Teddy B has said about, you know, stars, you know, us having a good role model and stuff. So, I mean, this is where I want to go into when we talk about LeBron, right? So I said all these great things about him, what he's done, right? He's, you know, he gives his money, and off the court, his philanthropy is tremendous, man. Him and his wife and all this stuff, man. However, there was an incident that just happened where somebody sprayed the N-word, N-I-G-G-E-R, on his gate at his house, right?
Right.
Okay. All right, so he wasn't there. This was in California, his house in California. He was in Cleveland when this all happened. And anyway, so this happens. They call the police, the people who were watching over his house. They call the police, and while the police were on their way there, they cleaned the wall off. So then he makes a statement about this a little bit later on, and he talks about how racism is bad and all these different things. And I'm like, okay, all right, you know, he's like, you know, and then he compares this situation to Emmett Till, which I thought was kind of absurd. But
he's still alive, bro.
But who?
LeBron.
LeBron's still alive. Yeah,
he could whistle at a white woman.
Yeah.
He could say that she looked good, right?
Yeah. He wouldn't even have a problem with it.
He wouldn't have a problem with
you
that.
know. So anyway, he mentions, you know, talks about how racism, and he's like, and this is the craziest thing that to me I thought was crazy. He was like, you know, it don't matter how much money you make, you know, it don't matter how rich you are, if you black, you know, pretty much, you know, you still a victim of racism and stuff. He's like, I gotta talk to my kids about my sons about this, and now I got, you know, so I'm like, okay, I'm like, you tell me you got all that money. And you still feel that way. All right. So, and he talked about how racism is bad, and he don't know, you know, we got to talk about it, and it's not going to change until something, you know, eventually, hopefully it changes, but right now it's never going to change until we do something about it. He says all these things, right? Mm-hmm. But then, like, and so a lot of people after that, are like, man, he was just like, he's almost kind of like Muhammad Ali, like he's speaking out on injustice. And I'm like, yeah. But just a week prior to that, him and the Cleveland Cavaliers were right at the Future concert, quoting word verbatim. And if you listen to Future's music, all he talks about is screwing bitches, drinking all types of liquors, doing all types of drugs, and then on foot video, he's verbatim quoting things and turning up with his Cavalier buddies. His what's his name? Be shooting all the threes. He's probably high there.
J.R. Smith.
J.R. Smith was up. Yeah, they both were by each other, just quoting Future lyrics, and I'm like, and we know as well. I believe Future's one of the biggest coons because he raps and sings about stuff he don't even do, and he admitted he don't do that stuff.
Which was a surprise to me.
Yeah, which is a crazy surprise. So you got Future the Coon, you got LeBron who listens to Future the Coon, and then turns around and basically denounces the same stuff that he involves himself in with the music he listens to, and all this stuff gets out there, but then he has this school over here for disenfranchised kids, but these disenfranchised kids are probably listening to the same stuff that he's listening to, trying to and wanting to be like Future. So
there's a never-ending cycle.
There's a never-ending cycle of coonage, and he's not the role model.
Never-ending cycle of coonage.
So where does it end? Where does it begin, man? Like,
I don't think it's ever gonna end.
Man,
people been cooning for generations and generations. It's gonna keep going. It's just gonna have a different face, different outlook. They just gonna have a different way of going about it. But it's still.
Am I crazy? Should I put him on a coon train? Should I take him off? Is that soft shoeing a little bit?
Only thing I'll say is definitely with how social media has blown up and taken over lives and how it's kind of shaped the culture. It really has made cooning like even a stronger deal because people no longer in the past, if you were going to do that, you had to get yourself together, go out someplace and be seen doing that. You know what I'm saying? But now people, they can just off of a knee-jerk reaction say all sorts of different things or record themselves saying all sorts of different things. Maybe not too much thought put into it. I saw one video of guys arguing with his baby's mom over the car seat, and her, I don't know, sister, best friend, whatever, bust the guy's window. They bust his window and puncture his tires on his car over this car seat because he said he's not going to take it out. If they want it, come and get it yourself. And he's standing there not doing anything, and everybody's like, oh man, he should have slapped him up, this, that, and other. And I'm like, well, this is what's crazy about it, though. I was watching it, yes. So I can't say, oh, look at all you, how dare you watch this, you should be ashamed. But I'm just looking at how many different people actually like watch this clip of this crazy behavior.
Right.
And nobody said, yo, this is crazy. Everybody was just like, oh, this happened every day in St. Louis. And I'm kind of like, so we've gotten so used to it that we have a blind eye to it. And anybody that actually speaks out about it, they're like, yo, you crazy. You talking crazy. What you talking about? Mm-hmm. That's just what life is.
Right.
It's become a part of day-to-day life. Think about it. We all work for somebody. Guarantee they don't look like us. Right? Different color. Clearly, they the ones writing the checks, right? They say, Sage, go do this, go do that. Okay.
Yeah, but you sign up. You sign up for that.
Right.
That's what everybody else is doing too.
I'm saying you sign up. Well, cooning.
In a sense, everybody does it.
You're not.
In a sense, everybody's cooning. Just think about it.
So you think when you go to work every day, you're cooning. You saying you're a coon.
Do you own what you do? No. So in a sense, think about it like this. Do you slightly feel like you cooning just a little bit?
No.
On them days you hate your job, you don't feel like
I don't hate my job, so I don't have that situation. But but this is the thing. You as far as job, you sign up for that. It's an agreement. Like for the most part, if you want, you can leave that job anytime you want. You know what I mean? And they're not going to forcibly keep you there. You might have certain stipulations like, well, you can't go to the competition or something. And you might sign off on that. You sign off on that. Mm-hmm. But just blatant, I'm going to put out the images of being a coon. And, I mean, some for the sake of getting back, some just not for the sake of getting back. They just got
I'm going to play along with the negative views that they've always had, the negative stereotypes that they always had, or I'm going to go out of my way to basically lick the boot.
Mm-hmm. Like in the case of LeBron, right? So some people probably say, oh, that's far-fetched. But no, if you have one image of, this is, I'm a hometown boy and I came and, and I made good and I made positive decisions, and so I want to give back to the kids and this and that. And then you know, racism is bad and should be in our country and all this stuff. And then you turn around and go to a Future concert where clearly he completely promotes the stereotype of what you're saying you're not. To me, that's cooning, man. Like, if you, look, stand behind what you're going to be. Like, if you're going to be the coon, be the coon. Don't be in the middle of being a coon and then trying not to be a coon.
I think...
ride your coonage out.
one thing we did miss one person that is definitely a person that had to come to the altar.
We missed two.
Did we miss two?
Go in.
We missed 2 or 3, but I don't know too much about
thinking Jason
Whitlock and Stephen A. Smith.
Ooh. Now, why are you bringing Jason Whitlock to it?
You ain't heard about Jason Whitlock?
No. I know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying for the audience.
Well,
you know.
You know, go with it, Teddy B.
Jason Whitlock, man. Okay, first of all, he works for Fox News, if I'm not mistaken. Not Fox News, Fox Sports.
Fox Sports,
right? Big fat hamburger eating dude with these little itty bitty fedora hats on. To quote D.L. Hughley, how can you see our struggle when you can't see your feet? Which I thought that was hilarious. But no, like basically every time something happens, like the LeBron situation with the spray paint, right? He basically told LeBron stop crying about it and get over it.
Yeah, he said stop crying about it because you're rich.
Because you're rich.
He's like,
now if you were poor, it would be a problem.
Now that you disagree, you did disagree with that he shouldn't.
No, I agree with what LeBron said. I think LeBron took it a little far with the whole Emmett Till thing. I think what he was trying to say didn't come off the way he wanted it to come off.
Basically, he was saying, to break it down, LeBron was surprised because most of the time, nobody's ever really had a problem with him. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, somebody does something that shows a certain level of hate that he's never really seen. Even growing up in Akron, he never probably seen that level of hate. Because even the white people that he was probably around loved him so much because he was probably making money for them.
Right, he was at where school he was at?
St. Vincent, St. Mary. Yeah. You know, he was making, winning games for him, making the coaches look great. So he's probably never seen that. So for somebody to spray paint that on his fence, even if he wasn't there for it, when he found out that it happened, it was the first time he was probably ever struck by that level of racial hate.
But my honest opinions, I don't think it even happened.
Why
would you clean it off before the police got there?
Tinfoil hat.
No, ain't no tinfoil. Really? This ain't tinfoil. This is what really happened. They cleaned it off prior to the police getting there. And then he wasn't even there to see it. There was no pictures or no video footage, no nothing. But then he gets up and talked about that.
So in what way did it help him? Because they down 2-0 right now. But
it just didn't help me in my decision of whether he's a coon or not. Now I believe he's a coon.
Well, let's go back to Jason Whitlock real quick. One thing I'll say about him is he used to be with ESPN. They had him over the Undisputed, I believe, which was like the Black History things with sports and stuff. Now, if anybody knows about Scoop Jackson, very good writer, very in-depth person knowing about the NBA and what's going on. Has good ties with a lot of different players, good rapport with them. He was on ESPN at that same time. Jason Whitlock went and talked to the big wigs at ESPN and said, I think Scoop Jackson needs to probably go elsewhere. He's too black for ESPN. This coming from the man that was put on top of the Undisputed Black sports history area of ESPN. Because I had read some stories he had put up there. This dude's going to come and say somebody else is too black for ESPN? So who are you?
Yeah, my issue with him with that LeBron story was that he gave a scenario about when he was a kid and stuff like that happened to him, unfair stuff. He said unfair stuff happened to him.
And they handed him some powdered donuts and he went home. Yeah,
he said his parents basically told him, like, get over it or whatever. And so that's been his attitude. People
put a blind eye to it?
That's what I'm assuming that's what, when he was saying getting over it means, it could mean that. But my thing is, maybe that's been his attitude with race. He probably just decided I'm a coon and I'm going to completely ignore, even if they're doing me wrong. Like, that's the worst case.
Yeah, but ignoring it is one thing, but then the way he goes about talking about other people doing it is something totally different. Yeah. You can ignore it and act like it's not there. That's cool. Yeah. But then you badmouth everybody that doesn't ignore it like they're wrong in the situation. Yeah. That's the point I don't like.
And to you guys' point, I've watched him on other things aside from the LeBron thing. I've seen him on other stuff where he's talking about race and all that stuff, and you could tell he's definitely pro. He's much more towards liberal. He's definitely a very liberal minded.
Well, he showed that when the girl, what's her name, Lachey, Lackey, that's on the show with them. I
can't think of her name.
But she basically had said all this different slick stuff about LeVar Ball. So when he got on the show, LeVar Ball was like, "Stay in your lane." They automatically flipped that and made it seem like he said, "Stay in the kitchen barefoot and pregnant." He said, "Stay in your lane." Now, black folks know "stay in your lane" means
stay out of my business.
Exactly.
Stay in your lane.
For her, she probably didn't understand what that meant, and so Jason Whitlock gonna sit up there and cape for this woman.
Yeah,
because that's what he does. So
now they said, "Oh,
and
no."
maybe that's his gimmick. I think that might.
I
think he really believes that way, but then part of it is
he's trolling.
Yeah, trolling and the soft shoe cooning and all that mixed together helps him stay on. And he's going viral. Like we're talking about him right now because of that. Because
the only thing I'm saying in this aspect is, she said some different things she has to own up to. It's 2017.
Right.
She said some different stuff she has to own up to. So if the person that's there either decides to not even pay any attention to her or tells her to stay in her lane, she has to deal with that.
Right.
There's no need for it. It wasn't like he was going to forcibly put his hands on this woman. He just told her to mind her own business.
Well, he didn't do nothing but just flip what they do to us most of the time.
He told her,
he flipped it on her, and now it's like, oh my God, I can't believe he said that to her.
Yeah.
But had it been the other way around, it would have been no problem.
The one thing I loved out of all of that he said was he said to her, which was the most perfect and the most defensive thing you could say is, he's like, "I'm scared of you." I was like, "Yo, that's it right there." So he's saying that he looks at her as a threat. And so that flips it. So anything she could try to do to spin it, which she's tried, it really doesn't work because he's already said, like, "I'm afraid of you, so I don't even want to look at you. I'm afraid of you."
In this situation, she has said something about how he raises his kids, right? So anybody
you can't do that.
Anybody's going to take offense to that. Like, what do you know about how I raise my kids? Right. Now, if we would have flipped that and he would have said something to her about her raising her kids, it's a big situation. But Jason Whitlock played to he played on her side every single time.
Did she have kids?
I have no idea.
I don't think she did. Did she have her own business? She's trying to give him business. I'm like, did you only have your own corporation? You trying to give him business? Well, I think you should market it. Well, hold on. Do you got your own shoe? You don't have your own shoe deal? See, I give props to him because he's the guy who's not representing a coon. He's not representing a coon. Troll.
They think he is because of how loud he is.
Yeah, a troll, yes. A coon, no. He's keeping it a buck.
Yeah, because he's on point with everything that he's doing.
So much so to the point he said, "Well, my wife is sick. My kids didn't come to the hospital to see him." I'm like, that's too much, man. You gotta scale it back. So anyway, and
the only thing I have to say about Stephen A. Smith is,
stop dogging the brothers, man. Lay back. Lay off the brothers, man. Like, for real. Like, he won't go at nobody else's neck. But he turned up just like this to go at the brothers. Has no problem whatsoever. But anybody else,
fourth quarter,
he talks like this with everybody else.
Oh, because they broke him.
When they suspended him. Yeah, because he finally he had a get out moment.
Mm-hmm.
Snapped the picture, and all of a sudden he said what he really felt. And they got it.
And they put him in that sunken place.
They put him in suspension.
You know why?
He came back,
you know why I realized he was in the sunken place and he was a coon? One of the things, he said a lot of stuff that's very coonish. But he said, "Look, the only way we're going to change anything in this country, and the only way we're going to solve any of these problems, these race problems, is if we get out and vote." I said, "What the? Vote? Dude, really? Like, vote?" I'm like, so you telling me if I go out and vote, then I'm change all the things that's going on in America? We'll just solve all the problems of the world. And we did. We all went out and voted. Well, most people went out. Well, I don't know who went out and voted.
I voted.
But we see when people went out and voted, and people crying over health care, things like that. I'm not gonna get into that. It's more political, but I just thought, like, that's kind of crazy that dude. So to me, broken, soft shoeing, cooning, and then he's always got to be the guy who's a spokesperson for so-called black people whenever he's on that show. And
that's because they put the face there to make us seem like we're actually coming up, and we really not. because they handpicking who they want to be on TV.
Yeah.
Because you could put anybody on there. There's sportscasters out there that are better than Stephen A. Smith, but he's the mouth and the face that they want to put on there because he's going to do what we tell him to do.
Yeah.
That's exactly why he's there. Now, I'm not going to say he didn't work hard to get where he's at, but to get the break and the opportunity that he has, they had to tell him, okay, these are your stipulations. This is what you can and cannot say.
Every 2 weeks, push that hairline back.
That's that stretch because he really want to say some other stuff, but he can't. Why? Because he's not cutting his own check.
Yeah.
The check writers run it.
All right.
Period.
So
I guess what Teddy B is saying in conclusion is the only way that we can stop all this soft shoe and tap dancing, cooning,
is to build our own bag.
To build our own bags.
Okay. I can ride with that.
The bag is what runs it, man. The bag runs the world.
Money moves everything. So
right. Think what Chris Rock say. Yeah, rich and wealthy. You think Oprah's wealthy? What'd he say? Oprah's rich. Because if Bill Gates woke up tomorrow with Oprah's money, he'd jump off a bridge and commit suicide. There's a difference. Oprah is rich. Man. Bill Gates, wealthy. We got to find a way to get our own generational wealth. The power's in the bag.
Black banks. Let's go.
The EFG podcast.
By blacks. Just keep it $150. Keep it 100. Keep it real with yourself.
Black banks.
Keep
Let's
it real
go.
with the people's around you, man. That's it. You ain't gotta
be true to yourself.
Be true to yourself. That's it.
Whoever that is that you may be, just be true to yourself.
Black banks. Let's go.
We don't need no black bank, man.
Okay. And that's a coonish thing you just said right there. We gonna end with him saying some coonish.
Man is the money.
That was so cool.
See, that's something right there, y'all. Wow, you did all that powerful speaking.
All that powerful speaking and went straight
in the last 10 seconds turned into
there's a coon right everyone.
Goodness gracious.
Somebody go give me some pig feet, some hog maw.
So anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. You know, it's your boy Nicholas Sage.
Some watermelon.
It's your boy Nicholas Sage. I'm gonna pass it over to my right.
Yo, it's your boy Teddy B Love, the one and only, and this coon to my right is
King Grippos, baby. Let's go get it, baby. Hill, King Grippos.
EFG.
He'll go to the altar next week, man.
I'm getting my oil ready. Yeah, he go to the altar next week immediately.
Take me to the altar.
EFG.
Next week.
We all we got. Somebody gonna burn for this.
Take me to the altar so these coons can be bad.
And we out.
Oh man, that's funny, bro.
Nigga, how did you turn into a coon the last 5 minutes ago?
That was the punchline. Hey, that was the kicker right there.
All right, keep it all the way in buck. Do you feel like you a coon in real life?
In real life? No,
yeah.
No, I don't. I think I probably done some coonish things in my life.
We still live. I want to talk to the people.
I didn't know. I might have done some coonish things in my life.
That's what I'm saying. I think in a sense everybody does a little bit of cooning.
You have to do something to basically assimilate where you are. Because the nail that sticks out
between assimilation and coonage.
The nail that sticks out gets hammered. That's what they told you. Who said that? Some white man.
No.
The nigga that stands out gets lynched. Who said that?
Coon is
some white man. Yo, we got people listening. You got people asking questions.
EFG.
We got.
Somebody ask a question on it.
We got a few.
You all right? You ready to die for EFG?
Well, Claude said we all coons.
Oh, we all coons.
I wasn't part of that.
All that smiling you do, nigga? Okay.
Yes, boss.
Yes, boss. Yes, boss. I shuffles for you. I still shuffles.
Yeah, you want me to stay with your shirt tucked in?
You want me to
dance? Coons tuck in their shirt.
You want me to dance for you, boss? You want me to dance for you?
I dance for you. I still shuffles.
You should have kept your mouth shut and act like you wasn't watching.
I'll hold my hand.
Oh, yes, sir, boss. I had computers right ready for you. Passwords and all.
Yo, I can't laugh off of that, man.
Yeah, because we do. That's what I said. We all coon a little bit. Just keep it a buck.
Nah, man.
Bro, we don't even necessarily do it intentionally.
No, I've had people
It's not
tell
cool.
me.
That's modern day slavery.
I've had people tell me.
That's what the NFL draft is.
I've had people tell me that they were uncomfortable because I didn't smile. I'm like, maybe I don't feel like smiling.
Brian, somebody just commented something.
This the after show.
I'm just looking.
This stuff. There's a difference between cooning and adapting to your environment.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. That's what I'm trying to say. You basically try to make sure you don't stick out.
You right.
Well, I guess I'm an adaptive coon because
Can we call you a coon?
Ooh. I guess.
All I
am not Hawaiian. I am not Samoan. Look.
Did you already pray 3 times? 2 more left?
I dance for you, boss.
What do they say to a coon sand nigga?
Forever my coon.
Hey, we said.
Oh, they'll call him an infidel. You infidel!
Oh man.
Y'all stupid.
Yo, we should count how many times we said nigga.
We'll put that in the comments. We're gonna go back. Take a look. Do that. If you
Are we still live?
listen to the podcast. It'll be out in a week. And
Yes.
whoever can count and tell us how many times we said nigga or coon.
Nah, you would be counting for a while. You wouldn't be able to.
Especially when Hill was
We'll
talking.
give you a shout out and let you ask a
Hill was like,
question.
when you
or-
coon the coon.
We'll let you
I said coon as many times
give us the next
as
topic.
Kim says
Or
baby
one of the
and
next
girl
topics.
in a song.
Girl, baby, girl, girl.
Y'all stupid.
Oh man.
But
EFG.
we know we still live, man.
Yeah,
Look, this show question and answer.
Who's on there talking right now?
Call says call my voicemail. That's a coon.
What did you say?
Sizzling.
He said call my voicemail. That's a coon. Hey man, I'm very professional on my voicemail. And I gotta send a telemarketer somewhere.
This is Brack Gooseby the third. I am not available to take your call.
We still live, man.
That's funny.
We live, baby.
He
Let
called
me
him
shut it
Tyrone.
off. Let me shut it off. Go to SoundCloud and check out our shows. If you haven't been there yet, go. Hit us up on Twitter.
once we pay the bills.
Podcast. Yeah. Oh, we still got shows up there. You can still go listen to them.
Check the old ones, yeah.
Okay, we didn't do that in this one. I'll just plug it.